The offer. Call to order this conditional use public hearing on August 18th, 2025. Next, we have supporting documentation for conditional use number 03-25494 Princeton Drive. Administration, right?
Actually, we are the applicant, City of Thompson, so we've submitted a conditional use application in preparation of receiving final building construction drawings for the new sobering center located at 494 Princeton Drive. Conditional use is requesting to allow social services facility within a residential high density zone. And as per the Planning Act, property was posted 14 days and property owners within 100 meters were notified, and I received nothing for it.
Good. Next, we're going to receive presentations in favor of this conditional use. Please come, state your name and whether you're in favor.
Good evening. My name is Kelvin Linkslag. I'm a citizen of Thompson, and I'm also the executive director for Manitoba Kuinawi Okanagan. I am for this project. First of all, I'd like to commend the mayor, city manager, and all the council for all their hard work this summer and keeping us safe and with all of the planning and everything for the fires. So great work and thank you for that. For this project, I really do believe this is something that needs to happen in Thompson. We need to provide the goal is to provide supports. MKO never wanted to just do a homeless shelter. I feel that homelessness is just a systemic outcome to trauma, to colonization, residential schools, 60 scoop, CFS. And so here we find our most vulnerable members, on the streets, homeless, not being able to thrive or survive as we do on a regular basis. However, it's hard to do those things when you don't have a space to call your own. You don't even have your own pillow or your own bed to be able to lay your head, to be able to get up the next morning and work on some goals and fix your life. So this is part of that overall plan. Yes, we're going to have some people who are maybe in the beginning stages and may need the services at the sobering center. But then we're also going to have some people who are ready to be able to make some changes in their lives. And that's the goal of the first and second floor of this overall build, is to be able to provide people a chance for change, for hope, to be able to address things in their lives. We do have a lot of supports that we plan on having in the center. We are bringing those into our current facility right now, but even having this new build where we can have even more a better space to be able to provide that. We do have counselors that come in. We do have people that come in and that provide traditional healing services, even just activities, the chance to be able to paint, make drums, sing, pray together, laugh together, eat together, to be able to have those kind of semblances of a home where that may be in a safe space, in a place where maybe they don't need to, be under the influence all the time or wherever, where they can just kind of enjoy their surroundings, be able to remember may have happier times in their lives when they're in their community and with their family, or and where they find themselves today, whatever means happened to them. But that's the goal of this overall build, to be able to, promote healing, provide resources, provide that pillow so that they can lay down and have their own little space to be able to call their own, that they can address their goals each day. And and they may be small goals, but that's okay. We're going to support them and provide the spaces that they need for healing and the resources that we need. And that's the overall goal. That is a vision that I've always seen. Like I said, I never wanted to just do a homeless shelter. I don't believe that it just kind of manages people here to here. But true healing is bringing back culture, bringing back identity, bringing back healing So that'll be the goal of this place, which would in the outside also impact the surrounding community, because even for myself, as a resident of Thompson, I don't like taking my children to Walmart and, and seeing fights and blah, blah, blah. But this is part of that goal, to be able to help people so that maybe they're not standing outside in those places anymore, and they are in their own space, maybe working on this or staying home for that night, just to, be able to have their own space. Because I want my children to have a really safe and good community as well. And I know that's the goal for all of us. So this is our part, MKO's part, and the city as well. As we work really, we have we do have a very strong goal together, and we want to make a safe community. So MKO wants to help with that goal and those plans. So with the sobering center and also the additional money that we were able to bring in to build the other 2 floors to promote that healing, we want to be part of the solution. So I definitely support this project. I hope others do, and I really do hope that we can see a change in our community once we, as we move forward together. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And I would just like to thank MKO and all your staff and the staff at the Well Brownie Center when we were doing pre-evacuation, pre-registration for in case we have to do a mandatory evacuation. Everybody stepped up to the plate to help us get the numbers from downtown. So thank you, everybody, for coming to bat for that. Okay. Next, receiving presentations opposed. Receiving presentations opposed. Seeing none, call for adjournment. Councilor Valentino, Councilor Saul, all in favor? I'd like to call the regular meeting of council for August the 18th, 2025 to order at 7:09 p.m. I'd like to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 5 territory and that the city of Thompson is located on the ancestral lands of the Nipissway Cree Nation. We respect the spirit and intent of treaties and treaty making and remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. I have an approval of the agenda. Councilor Valentino, Councilor Saul, all in favor? Carried. Next, we're going to go into adoption of minutes. 4.1 is adoption of minutes for variation order number 1017-25, June 24, 2025. Resolution 2025-117, moved by Councilor Valentino, second by Councilor Chong. Be it resolved that the minutes of the public hearing for variation order number 107-25 held in council chambers, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba on Tuesday, June 24, 2025 be adopted as circulated. Administration?
Nothing further.
Councilor Valentino, any comments?
Nothing further.
Any other comments from councilors? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Adoption minutes 4.2 regular council meeting, June 24, 2025. Resolution 2025-118, moved by Councilor Valentino, second by Councilor Chong. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held in council chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba on Tuesday, June 24, 2025 be adopted as circulated. Administration?
Nothing further.
Councilor Valentino?
Nothing further.
Any other councilor comments? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. 4.3. Approval, adoption of the minutes for special emergency meeting of council, July 7th, 2025. Resolution 2025-119, moved by Councillor Valentino, second by Councillor Chong. Be it resolved that the minutes of the special emergency meeting of council held in Council Chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Monday, July 7th, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Administration.
Nothing further.
Councillor Valentino.
Nothing further.
Other councillors? Call to the question. All those in favor? Adoption minutes for the financial plan public hearing, July 22nd, 2025. Resolution 2025-120, moved by Councillor Valentino, sent by Councillor Chong. Be it resolved that the minutes of the public hearing for the 2025 financial plan held in Council Chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Administration.
Nothing further.
Councillor Valentino.
Nothing further.
Other councillors? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Four point five, special minutes from the special regular meeting of council, July 22nd, 2025. Resolution 2025-121, moved by Councillor Valentino, second by Councillor Chong. Be it resolved that the minutes of the special meeting of council held in Council Chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Administration.
Nothing further.
Councillor Valentino.
Nothing further.
Comments of other councillors? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Four point six is minutes from the special regular meeting of council, July 23rd, 2025. Resolution 2025-122, moved by Councillor Saw, seconded by Councillor Chong. Be it resolved that the minutes of the special meeting of council held in Council Chambers, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Administration.
Nothing further.
Councillor Saw.
Nothing further.
Other councillors? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Next, we'll go to minutes from the special regular meeting of council, July 31st, 2025. Resolution 2025-123, moved by Councillor Wong, seconded by Councillor Chong. Be it resolved that the minutes of the special regular meeting of council held in Council Chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Thursday, July 31st, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Administration.
Nothing further.
Councillor Wong.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Other councillors? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Four point eight is minutes from the committee of the whole, August the 11th, 2025. Resolution 2025-124, moved by Councillor Valentino, seconded by Councillor Chong. Be resolved that the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting of council held in council chamber, City Hall, Thompson, Manitoba, on Monday, August the 11th, 2025, be adopted as circulated. Administration.
Nothing further.
Councillor Valentino.
Nothing further.
Other councillors? Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Having the summer off, we've had quite a few meetings. Next, we're going to go into resolutions. Resolution 5.1 is a written motion received from Councillor Saw to reconsider Resolution 2025-110, a resolution to approve Councillor Lundmark's absence.
Aaron.
I was going to say, yeah.
So this is just a written notice that would come forth in a future meeting. There is no resolution tonight on this. It's just notice from the councillor to reconsider this previous resolution. Just so council has some context, once we reviewed some of the issues surrounding this, the municipal act with the municipal service officers. At earliest that this resolution would have to come forward, but actually only be September 29th. As the said councillor would not have missed 3 regular meetings of council until September 29th. We'll continue to watch the calendar. If the councillor was not returned, we'll bring forth this resolution to reconsider on September 29th. Further to that, there was a few questions about compensation. The way compensation works is the administration must follow the indemnities bylaw that council sets. That determines how people are compensated or not compensated. Council wants to contemplate changes to the indemnity bylaw, the administration can bring that forth. And council could make changes to that indemnity bylaw at a future meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Saw.
Yeah, thank you, and I did have a chance to speak to administration on this, and they did clarify that the resolution that was brought forward was premature, and that if Councillor Landmark, mentioned by City Manager, was to just third regular meeting in the world, which would be in September, then at that point, this would be brought forward. I just want to make sure that I was a little concerned, and the reason why I at first written to have it reconsidered. I was concerned about how it was handled at the last meeting, and my hope is that if this does come forward again, that we base it on what we currently have private authority based on our bylaws. I do respect what City Manager said, that if there are some changes we would like to have in regards to indemnities, I think it's important for that to be brought forward, but currently we are working with the current context of the current bylaws. And we want to be mindful of that and respectful of the situation. So I'll leave it at that, but I do want to thank administration for clarifying this to me. And yeah, we'll see what happens in September.
Thank you. Councillor Wong.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just want to ask a question to administration. When was the last date of granted for the first request for leave of absence? I know the request for in February or May sometimes. I think that's July.
I believe she's looking it up, and we believe it's in July, but then because or June, but then because one of the meetings in July was canceled. The bylaw doesn't apply when it's it only applies to regular meetings, not to special meetings or to committee meetings.
So may I ask you another question? So under municipal and section 94, disqualification. Can you interpret that section for us, please?
So 94(1)(a), the municipal act, a member of council disqualified from council if he or she is absent for the full duration of 3 consecutive regular council meetings, unless the absences are with the leave of council granted by resolution past any of the 3 meetings, a prior meeting or the next meeting following the 3rd absence.
So does that mean, can I interpret it that way? The first request was wrong to ask 3 months straight? Should be every 3 times, right? Is that what the interpretation is?
No. No, this is saying that it has to be 3 regular meetings and we can still pass permission after the 3rd meeting is passed.
Because I'm trying to understand the law say, right? I don't think you can ask 3 months straight, you can ask every 3 times, right?
Council can grant an extension or a leave as many times as they want. Unless the absences are with the leave of council. So council grants it, then it's allowed.
So you said the last day was June sometime?
I think we just said it was June 8th,
June 9th.
June 9th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Comments? Councilor Valentine.
Thanks, Vice Mayor. I just wanna thank Councillor Saw for bringing this forward and for us to get the proper clarification, because I too think that this went sideways, and I hope moving forward it's handled professionally and that we do it with due process. So thanks for the clarification from from administration.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Everyone is fine with that?
Yeah, it just has to proceed. Once the notice is given, it proceeds.
Okay. And Anthony has given the explanation of all this. Thank you. That resolution must be. Okay, so we're okay to move on? Okay. 5.2 is a resolution to approve conditional use number 03-25494 Princeton Drive. Resolution 2025-125 moved by Councillor Wong, second by Councillor Chong. Whereas the city of Thompson is in receipt of a conditional use application number 03-25 for lot 1 block 175 plan 847 PLTO North Division 494 Princeton Drive to allow social services facility within residential high density zone RHD. And whereas under the provision of the Planning Act, a public hearing has been held to hear representation for and or against the conditional use application. Now therefore be it resolved that council approve conditional use application number 03-25 for lot 1 block 175 plan 847 PLTO North Division 494 Princeton Drive to allow a social services facility within the residential high density zone. Over administration.
I think I said it all, but we are receipt of application from ourselves. So we've submitted the application in preparation of receiving final building construction drawings for the new sobering center. Location of 494 Princeton Drive. Again, this conditional use is requesting to allow social services facility within the residential high density zone RHD. We've heard nothing against, and tonight we've heard 1 presentation in favor.
Thank you, Anthony.
And so as our chief building inspector said, we own this building. This is part of the ongoing meetings we've had with the province. There's $2.8 million they've given towards the sobering center side of this, as well as the $8+ million that MKO has raised for themselves. This is something that council in the past has shown support for. And this is also something that is part of the community wellness and public safety plan for the community, is to establish a facility. In the past, we used to call this sort of a facility Main Street North. Over time, it has been called the Healing Center, and now it's most recently with MKO, it's being called the Well Variety Center. But this would be the new building in building 4 next door to do a more purpose-built facility.
Thank you. Councillor Wong is the mover. Comments?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The resolution written exactly what the purpose is. If we not allow, then we're not able to continue the project. the program, so I will support this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, councillors? Councillor Saab?
Yes, thank you. I'll be supporting this as well, and I think it's important for us to really look at where this issue is at. And what we hope to accomplish with it. This is not going to be just a super center for Thompson. This really, in fact, is going to be for the region. If we look at those numbers, we know that good chunk of the clients are going to be from outside of Thompson. But it's important for us to do this because we are that service center, we are that place where people do come to. And there's no doubt that right now, the way the services are, it lacked that next step forward for individuals. People who are coming there did not have those options going forward as to what's next for them. This gives that option. I think as a facility that, of course, we want to build, it's very important, as was articulated in discussion last week, that council does and city does play a very active role in how we manage how we work with MPG and in management of that facility. I think it would be a huge asset for Thompson. But at the same time, I think it's very important for us as a city and as mentioned by Calvin, when it comes to safety, and I totally agree with her commentary. We want a facility that will make Thompson safer. And there's no doubt there's been some discussions in regards to increase vacancy, increase issues and downtown issue. And quite often it is aligned back with the increase in clientele at the home center or at the mortality. I think we have a huge opportunity here to work with them here, to work with the manager of the variety to make sure going forward that this facility, if anything, will enhance the social fabric of our community. I think there's a great opportunity, but we as a city have to be very involved in that. So I look forward to working with MKO and with the Variety Center to have that facility truly address people who are homeless, who are challenged with addictions, challenged with a whole lot of challenges. We know if anything, those numbers will increase. You know, the recent discount report that was done shows that all the factors in place that are driving those numbers, if anything, it will continue for the foreseeable future. If anything, we're only starting to see the start of those numbers increasing. So we have to make sure we have the assets in place and we have the proper operational policies in place to ensure that this facility, if anything, will address those challenges that I see coming around the corner. So as I said, I will be supporting this and I look forward as a member of council to work with MMQ on this project or on this service center.
Thank you. Any other comments, councillors? Yes, I just also like to add, this is something we've been advocating in that with the, ministers of justice, families, even Northern Affairs, municipal affairs, to help our region, not just Thompson, to deal with our population. So thank you to MKO for stepping up to the plate and being partners with us on this. So thank you, and I will be supporting this. Seeing no more comments, call the question. All those in favor? Thank you. Carrie. Five point three is a resolution to approve the extension of the Nickel Days agreement. Resolution 2025-126, moved by Councillor Saw, seconded by Councillor Wong. Whereas the Nickel Days Committee has canceled the 2025 Nickel Days event scheduled for June 18th to 2025 at the Thompson Regional Community Center due to unforeseen circumstances related to northern wildfires. And whereas the committee has provided the scheduled 2025 financial contribution as per the current agreement and has requested that this payment be applied for a future event in 2030. Therefore, be it resolved that the city of Thompson approve the application of the 2025 financial contribution toward the 2030 Nickel Days event and extend the current agreement by 1 additional year under the same terms and conditions, with the payment concluding in July 2029. Administration.
Got nothing further.
Councillor Saw as the mover.
Thank you, the only thing, of course, I'll be supporting this, but I do want to acknowledge the Nickel Day Committee. It was a really tough pill to swallow, having to cancel, the event. I know it was something that was not taken lightly, and it was a hard decision, but they did it in the best interest of safety, for our fellow Thompsonites, for our children. And I think absolutely we need to extend and fully support extending the.
Thank you. Any other comments? I too would like to thank the Nickel Days Committee for all their past and future endeavors at in partnership with the city of Thompson, and I will be supporting this motion. Seeing no more further questions, call the question. All those in favor? Carried. Five point four is a resolution to sole source the CA Nesbitt sound system. Resolution 2025-127, moved by Councillor Saw, seconded by Councillor Valentino. Be it resolved that council approve sole source award to Evolution AV in the amount of $110,000, $110,452.57, plus applicable taxes for the supply and installation of a new TRCC sound system with funding from the approved 2025 capital budget. Administration.
Yeah, so the city received numerous complaints about the sound systems at the TRCC. As part of budget 2025, council had provided dollars towards a project to upgrade the sound system in the CA Nesbitt Arena. And council identified that they wanted the work done before the Manitoba Winter Games in the spring of 2026. The company that provided the quotes to do the work does a lot of work in Thompson, doing all the sound systems at the school district of Mystery Lake, as well as taking care of UCN's system. They're also installing the shot clock and some of the technology that Arctic Beverages is providing to the city of Thompson under other agreements. To meet the deadlines that council wants, and because they designed the system that council considered, the administration would recommend sole sourcing this work to Evolution AV. Otherwise, it would have to go through a full tendering process, and council will not have time to meet the deadlines for the Winter Games.
Thank you. Councillor Saw, the mover.
Thank you, yeah, I mean, I will support this, it's important for us to get this done in time for those games. It'll be a huge event in Thompson. And I do agree, since we do have a past history with this particular company, based on the report by administration, I say who just I look forward to hearing how the sound system will be like after they're done, and hopefully the next thing we get down there is some better internet.
And heat.
And heat. I'm really look forward to the better internet, but yes, I will support this.
Thank you. Councillor Valentino?
Thanks, Mayor Smith. I'm gonna be supporting this also, and I think we have to even look past Manitoba Games Day. I mean, if we're gonna try and attract events to our city, we have to have a good sound system, and we don't have it. So this will also give us the ability to start bidding or hosting more events provincially and even nationally that we can host with the proper technology that we need. And I'm gonna back Councillor Sopp on that internet, and he would be great. But I'll be supporting this one. It's a good start. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Thompson?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I was wondering whether we can recover some of the fund from the winter game.
Anthony?
I couldn't tell you that right now. We can put a request to the Winter Games. It's the Winter Games Committee that doles out the dollars where it goes, so that could be made as a request. But I couldn't guarantee that that's where they would earmark the dollars.
Really, it's the upgrade, right?
It was a request that they had. They did ask that council do this upgrade.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Anyone else? Again, I will definitely be supporting this, whether it be, you know, we have many hockey tournaments here in the north that are Remembrance Day services, all things that are already happening, that this will definitely be a benefit for. And the Winter Games attracts a lot of the young athletes and people all over Manitoba come and see what Thompson's all about at that time. So definitely a great opportunity for us to have a good sound system. With that, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Next, we're going into number 6, bylaws. Bylaw 6.1 is the first reading of bylaw 2051-2025, regulation of the sale and use of fireworks within the city of Thompson. Bylaw 2025 128, moved by Councillor Valentino, seconded by Councillor Saw. Be it resolved that bylaw 2051-2025, being a bylaw of the city of Thompson to regulate the sale and use of fireworks within the city of Thompson, be introduced and read a first time. The administration, Chief Benson?
Yes, this bylaw is gonna allow the city of Thompson or the fire department already having jurisdiction, more control over who comes in, who's lighting fireworks. And it will also take the liability off the city if something were to happen. I mean, every insurance company is looking to subrogate claims on somebody else, so at the end of the day, it's it allows us to indemnify the city for any possible litigation going forward. It also allows us to have control over the licensing, the guys that actually do fireworks, so support.
Thank you, sir. Councillor Valentino, as mover, any comments?
Thank you, Mayor Smoke. I'm gonna be supporting this. I think we had good discussion at committee of the whole with good background and feedback from Chief Benson, so I am fine with supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from councillors? Councillor Saw?
Yeah, thank you. First I'll be also supporting this, and I do thank the chief and the administration, not just for this resolution, also for other ones like the open air building bylaw and based on what we've gone through this summer, I know that some is not over yet, and knock on wood that we've seen the worst. But we also know that this is going to be an ongoing situation. If anything, is going to become more of a challenge. I do believe that we're going to see more fires, more wildfires down the road, and I think going forward, love to have, you know, some discussion on what are some other things that we can do to prepare ourselves for next year. Like what are some things that we need to get done to best position us for what we know will be future challenges. There's no doubt this stuff is not going to go away, but it's going to increase. There's going to be more and more of a challenge. So this is a great start, and I thank the chief and administration for bringing us forward. I'd like to also, you know, have a good discussion and perhaps see other things, other thoughts on what else we can do to prepare ourselves for next year, or some proactive stuff. So In saying that, of course, I still will be, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from councillors? Councillor Wong.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I also will be supporting this bylaw. One of the biggest reason I like well, let me put it this way, the city having some problems with the insurance company. So I hope with all this bylaw that we're gonna pass to show that we are doing a lot of due diligence for preventing the fire in Thompson. And I hope that we will bring more insurance company to come, willing to accept Thompson as part of the client. So that's my biggest take on the bylaw, all this. The rest of the bylaw also the same reason, so I appreciate that. And hopefully this will be go further for us to get more cheaper or better insurance coverage for the city of Thompson. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments? I would just think, oh, sorry. Councillor Oberdorfer.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be supporting the bylaw. And I was happy to see it come forward, and apologies that I had to send my regrets last week for committee of the whole. So I don't know, maybe this was already discussed then, and if it was, I apologize. But my only thing was in regards to some of the I guess more like enforcement things in terms of our capacity, and do we have capacity to enforce those? I'm definitely in support of everything that's been put forward in the bylaw. My only concern would be us putting forward things that we don't have the capacity sort of to follow through and enforce, and just in terms of like, I guess the optics of how that will look if we don't have the ability to enforce those things. But I think that they're really great, and I look forward to having further conversations as well about fire prevention and things that we can do to be proactive. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Benson, did you want to reply?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or Councillor, sorry, Chief Benson?
Yes, we will have the capacity to meet the expectations of the people that are providing these. It'll also include a site inspection, so I'll know exactly where they're firing them off, their follow zones, that sort of stuff. So that's all part and parcel of our plan going forward. So it'll only take me an hour to do a site inspection, and less than that to actually issue the permit for it. So we do have the capacity for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Just along that line, I'd also, I'd like to thank Chief Benson for the proactiveness of this. And when we did have an issue of lanterns earlier this year, the department was out there right away, you know, looking to enforce any way that we could to ensure the safety of the community when we saw these lanterns come over town. So again, thank you. With that, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Six point two is first reading. 2052, 2025 of the open air burning bylaw amendment. Resolution 2025-129, moved by Councillor Saw, second by Councillor Valentino. Be it resolved that bylaw 2052-2025, being a bylaw of the city of Thompson to amend bylaw 1809-2009, being a bylaw to regulate open air burning within the limits of the city of Thompson, be introduced and read a first time. Administration, sir.
And there again, it's kind of removing some of our liability going forward. It's allowing the fire chief to place a burning ban at any point in time based on, well, obviously the conditions, you know, if we have another summer like we had not this past summer, you know, we could just put those in place at any time. And the other item is to the ability for us to stop homeowners from placing a fire pit on top of a combustible structure. So I want to remove that from the bylaw. Just it's better to be safe than sorry in my opinion.
Thank you, sir. Councillor Saw is the mover.
No, thank you, as we mentioned, once again, I'm great to see DD being put forward in a drafted manner. I think overall it makes us a safer community. I will be supporting.
Thank you. Other councillors, comments? Thank you again, being proactive. Seeing no other comments, call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Six point three is first reading of bylaw 2025, false alarm bylaw. Resolution 2025-130, moved by Councillor Valentino, seconded by Councillor Saw. Be resolved that bylaw 2053-2025, being a bylaw of the city of Thompson, providing for the fixing and recovery of a change related to false alarms, be introduced and read a first time. Chief?
And again, it just, clearing up and adding some additional, safety requirements in our bylaws. So responding to false alarms poses several risks, not only to the firefighters, but the general public, just from us responding lights and sirens kind of thing. And, it'll also delay us in the future for a false alarm if we actually have an emergency. So that's gonna take up some of our time. The other thing is the unhidden costs, like the wear and tear on our bumpers, fuel that we're burning, rubber on, well, that sort of stuff. But it also ensures that the property owners are having their systems in operational order as they were designed. If they're not working properly, they're not testing. And if we're coming to that, forces one of two things, we forces them to fix their systems or secure their systems, because it's generally two issues. It's either there's a problem with their system, or somebody's maliciously activating the alarm by pulling the alarm or having access to the fire alarm system. So that's the intent of the bylaw. And again, the biggest thing is the safety and the thing like.
Thank you, sir. Councillor Valentino, let's move on.
Thank you, Mayor Smook. I will be supporting this and appreciate the background information on this and the change. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other councillors, comments? Thank you. Seeing no further comments, call for the question. All those in favor? Carried. Bylaw 6.4 is first reading of bylaw 2054-2025, fire prevention bylaw amendment. Resolution 2025-131, moved by Councillor Saw, seconded by Councillor Valentino. Be it resolved that bylaw 2054-2025, being a bylaw to amend a bylaw number 1699-2004, being a bylaw of the city of Thompson, to provide for firefighting, fire prevention, the related regulation of fire and other hazards, the adoption of the Manitoba Fire Code, and for establishing, continuing, and operating a municipal ambulance and emergency service, be introduced and read a first time. Chief?
And again, that's just, to kind of clarify some of the stuff that, especially when it comes to inspections, like we're regulated by the province to do certain inspections, but at the same time, we're asked to do other inspections regularly every year, and it's continuous. We go back to the same building year after year and don't find anything wrong, but it's taken us 2-3 hours out of our day to kind of conduct that. So I'm just looking to recover some costs based on some of the stuff that's out there in regards to just dropping everything and responding to requests.
Thank you. Councillor Saw, the mover, comments?
Nothing there, thank you. I'll be supporting this.
Other councillors, comments? Lynn, did you have your hand up? Okay, so. Right, with that, call to the question. All those in favor? Carried. Bylaws for 6.5 is first reading of bylaw 2025 solid waste bylaw amendment. Resolution 2025-132, moved by Councillor Saw, second by Councillor Valentino. Be it resolved that bylaw 2025 being a bylaw of the city of Thompson to amend bylaw number 1714-2006, being a bylaw to regulate the collection and disposal of garbage, solid waste, ashes, and other refuse, and the throwing of, depositing of litter in the city of Thompson be introduced and read a first time. Administration?
Yeah, so this was brought forth by the inspections department, requesting to make changes. The changes are to address ongoing concerns with garbage bin enclosures, and public safety, as well as abandoned shopping carts in the community. So this will be brought forth for its first reading.
Thank you. Councillor Saw is the mover.
Yeah, thank you. The bylaws put forward, I mean, I'll be supportive, but I will say that. In regards to the first one, in regards to the closure, I think there's a general agreement that. From the time when this was originally done, back in 2008 or 9, that things have changed in regards to safety and so on, and having a chain link fence, where we usually see, if there's an issue, does make sense, so, that I can readily agree with. The abandoned shopping carts, I will say that even though I will agree with the changes, I think that it's important for city to work with these businesses, see if there's some options in regards to what's the best way going forward. I know that these businesses don't want their carts all over the place either. I mean, last week, there's been the same cart there in front of our building for the last 2-3 weeks, so I get it. This is important to try and encourage those carts to be picked up. I do know that when you have people have to pay for carts, it tends to help address this a bit. But yet, we were at one point concerned about what that results in when you have people hanging out and trying to collect carts for loonies. So when we have carts where there's no cash involved, this is something that occurs where you have carts being used for other transportation means. So at the end of the day, I think we need to try and work with the businesses to see going forward, saying, okay, these are these changes. What's the best way for us to address this? We do know that retail businesses already struggle to try and get people in place to operate their business, let alone having people, of course, going around collecting carts. So there needs to be a plan going forward, and I would encourage administration to maybe have a good discussion with businesses to see what are some options to best address the change in this bylaw. But saying that, I said I will support it, but I would like to see some work done after to see how to best work with our retailers on this one. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other councillors, comments? Sure, Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to understand a little bit more about the proper way of disposing the solid waste, such as the dog food or the kitty litter. Where can we dispose of? Like, do we take it to the city somewhere, or?
I would imagine in your household waste. It's not part of the bylaw, but it would be in your household waste.
To me, we flush it to our toilet,
No,
then what should we do with the dog waste?
sorry, Counselor, I'm not prepared for that question. That's
Well, yeah,
not part
because
of the
people ask me, right?
bylaw.
Your household garbage.
Okay, so this is the first reading of the bylaw. We can-
Yeah. So we have to give the answer to the people, the public, proper way of disposing it, right? Or put in the bag or tie it so they wouldn't lose.
I will have to ask the departments and I'll have to get back to you then.
Okay, my second question is, I would like, Councillor Saul mentioned something about we should work with the business regarding to the shopping cart. That, and I noticed that a lot of shopping cart park outside the Rebellion Center down there, the homeless shelter. And maybe we can speak to the MKO, then maybe she can help and get a truck and take it back to the mall somewhere to help the business. Because those are the cart, the people from out of town that come here and do shopping and they push all the way to the homeless shelter. And also the Burwood, housing down there by the Giant Tiger, they use shopping cart to push around all that stuff. And also they push to the Waterloo apartment. So we have to, somehow we have to connect to the local business and see how we can get this shopping cart back to the business. Rather than we're gonna set a bylaw and fees and fine and all this complication. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councillor Oberdorfer?
I don't have a question anymore, but thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Wong?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Somewhat I can support this resolution, but I do have a couple of questions about, well, first one, I really don't agree, but I can see the reason for changing from solid to a chain link fence and stuff like that for the enclosure. But the abandoned shopping cart, I do have question. Number one, because the way that the administration explained from the memo, it doesn't tell me how we gonna enforce this. Who gonna pick up the cart if let's say left outside the property? That's a question. One. And then it doesn't say, let's say we gonna charge them the impound fee for whatever amount that we decide later on. So does that mean they go by day? Or they just impound and then the people just say, you know what, I'm not gonna pick it up, you'll charge me. So we're gonna end up, we're gonna have a lot of cars sitting in our yard. Because it doesn't clarify this part, I don't know what that means. So can we, I think we need some, we need some work to do with this, especially this bylaw, can we table it? To get more clarification?
Anthony?
I think you could amend the bylaw as it goes, so I would recommend if you're looking at making a change, move forward with it, but you can still amend it in the future. So those comments can be sent back to the department, you can have future discussions. If you want to make amendments, then you make amendments and bring it up to second reading at that time.
Like this is putting it through so we can talk about it and make amendments on it. You do the first reading.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Valentino?
Thanks, President. Yeah, I'm supporting the first reading of this. I do want to acknowledge the council of the day that put this in. I think it was in 1996 because it was a hot topic in the city and it was more about the garbage and the plastic bags. And it's funny now how times have changed and now it's more becoming about public safety. So I do want to acknowledge them because that's how we got to this discussion today about changing that. So I'm definitely supporting it because times have changed. And when it comes to the shopping carts, I'm fine with the way it's changed. I mean, I think that we had the information for me from committee of the whole. We do already have a lot of shopping carts in our public works yard. And this will just be an invoice monthly, it'll be in our fees and fines that then businesses actually get an invoice. They don't pick them up now, so maybe at least we can recoup some costs. So I'm fine with supporting the first reading. Thank you, Mayor Smook.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I would just like to acknowledge our administration and bylaw has looked into some different things and talked to some of the store owners already. Safeway had implemented sort of a magnet thing where it stops the carts from going out. So there's definitely already discussions ongoing with the businesses as to how they can, and I do believe when this bylaw passes, that there'll be further discussion so that we definitely work out what's best for everybody. With that, call for the question, all those in favor? Okay. Pass, thank you. Again, these bylaws have all just gone through the first reading. Anybody that's paying attention, is now time to bring it to our attention. If any changes that they want made and for council, I would say that if you get it in writing to administration, any changes you would like to see before the second reading. Okay, next I have a proclamation, September 2025 as Arthritis Awareness. So the mayoral proclamation is, whereas nationwide community support has played a vital role in Arthritis Society Canada's 77-year history, enabling the organization to fulfill its mission to fight the fire of arthritis through research, advocacy, innovation, information, and support. And whereas arthritis is a serious disease that causes debilitating pain, restricts mobility, and diminishes the quality of life. 6 million Canadians, 1 in 5, live with the daily challenges of arthritis. And without increased awareness and action, that number is expected to rise to 9 million by 2045. And whereas during the Arthritis Awareness Month in September, Arthritis Society Canada works to raise awareness, mobilize support, and engage communities across the country to better understand the profound impact of arthritis and stand in solidarity for arthritis-free future. And whereas efforts are underway to establish a nationwide arthritis action plan focusing on key priorities such as prevention, equitable access to care and treatment, and elevating the urgency of addressing arthritis in Canada. And whereas Arthritis Society of Canada is the nation's leading charity dedicated to extinguishing arthritis for good. Now therefore, I, Mayor Colleen Smook, on behalf of the Council of the City of Thompson, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 as Arthritis Awareness Month in the City of Thompson and encourage residents to learn more about this serious disease and support efforts to improve the lives of those affected. Colleen Smook, dated this 18th day of August 2025. Definitely arthritis, and as our even aging population in Thompson, there is more arthritis in our numbers. That, I'd like to send a thank you to everyone that has worked so hard over our wildfires this summer. And it is nice to see some rain and humidity that has brought not a close to it. We did have 150 hotspots in our fire yesterday. So still, we don't let our guard down totally, but we can relax and enjoy a nice fall at this rate. So thank you very much to everybody from around the world that has come to our assistance. So, and our Chief Benton, you have definitely been an integral part of this. And Anthony, I thank you for all your hard work over this course of this. Again, thank you, and I'd like to call for adjournment. Councillor Valentino, Councillor Saw, all in favor?